Hey guys, it's Tim here, and today I am at the reloading bench. So I did a video a long time ago, small space reloading, and just kind of talked about how I do it in my utility room. So I want to first talk about what we're gonna do today. So I'm gonna be loading for the 300 blackout, and I've already done my test load. So I'm gonna stick with 10.6 grains. It gave me the best groups, even though 10.6 grains didn't give me that great of a group here. 10.8 wasn't too bad. These are all 5-shot groups, so it gives you a better perspective. And the lowest amount on what the book said was, I believe, 11 grains here. Let me look. It said 11.7 grains. So I didn't chrono any of this, but you know, you got to do this at your own discretion. Look up your load data. So I looked up, since I'm going to be using Barry's bullets today. Let's see. And accurate 1680. Here it is. Okay, let me get one of these Barry's bullets out. So these are plated bullet. They're cheap, to a point. I mean cheap, but they don't give any load data. The company Barry's, they say use other people's load data, just don't go above 1,300 feet a second. So everybody on the internet suggested using Sierra's load data. So for a Sierra 220 grain bullet, which is equivalent to this, and using the accurate 1680, it's saying that 11.7 grains is supposed to be at 1,050 feet per second. So that should be subsonic. This should be the quieter, non-cracking noise one. So I started below that, just because I want to make sure it stays below subsonic. Because if you try to hit that 1,050, 1051, next thing you know, you got a crack. So, and the temperature, the humidity, all that jazz can play an effect in that. So let me run you through. I've already gone ahead the other day and I made a pile of brass right here. This stuff is all ready to go. We just got to prime it. But I want to kind of give you a little insight. I mean, I don't know, I've been doing this for years, and I've been doing it mostly the hard way, I guess. So I used to size my brass with this tool, and you would have let me see here, the cartridge holder would fit there, this would slide there, you tighten this up, and then you would run this in, and the cutter head would trim the brass to the length size that you'd want, and you can set this part here on what you want. But there's an easier way. My goodness. If you really want some exact stuff, this is still better. But I am a fan of Lee Reloading because they're in the town next to me. I mean, how much, what more do you need? Made in America and everything. Okay, so check it out. So they have a thing where you get to put your cartridge in there, in your drill, tighten it up. Now this doohickey is specific to this cartridge, and it will cut it to length. So the black part here is the cutter head. This part here threads in, and you can get, you gotta be super strong to get it loose. Look at all that brass. Can you see is it gonna focus? Focus. It's not going to want to focus. There it is. So, see all them brass shavings? That's from the other day. I did lots and lots and lots of trimming on this thing, and it makes it so easy. Alright, so once it's chocked in your drill, I make sure that I put it in slow speed. Then all you got to do is start turning it and push it to the end. Ta-da. Done. It's sized, right? Oh, leave it chocked in there. Hold your horses. Okay, Lee also makes this little gizmo, and it works just fine. You can go right here, give it one that way to chamfer the inside, one that way to make it unscrew, I guess. Okay, I guess I didn't get it screwed in there tight enough, but Lee's little tool here is like $3 maybe at most. And it's still not centered. There we go. Alright, so then you go to the outside, or stick it on the inside, which does the outside. Give it another quick one, and now there's no sharp edges. It's chamfered to accept your bullet, and you're ready to rock. Okay, so let's do it again here. Maybe this one won't fly apart on us here. So, like that, that's done. Grab your tool, inside, outside. Now this does end up with a pile of little brass shavings. So keep in mind with that, you don't want little brass slivers and stuff in your carpet depending on where you're doing this at. Okay, so the other way that I was doing this without this tool is I'd go to that stage and then I'd either use this one, or if my fingers were getting tired, I had purchased this one does the outer. You can twist it by hand, and this one here does the inside chamfer. And these can still work just fine doing it with the drill, but it is so much faster to just use that Lee one, just because you can flip it and it doesn't take much tension. So push it. Yeah, I want to add more shaving. That's good. And bam, bam. Okay. And since we're really not making this, I'm not making this ammo for like competitions or anything. It's just for plinking, so it's more than good enough. Except this one hit a little edge. We gotta hit that. I do like to feel the end of them a little bit just to see where it's at. But all right. Okay, enough of that. Let's get this drill out of the way. Next is priming, right? So you want to make sure you have the right shell holder in your priming contraption. There's multiple multiple ways to do this. Why did that not want to go in there? It's weird. Let's show these two off to the side. Okay. So first thing, today I am using Remington 7.5s. That is the size primer that is required, and that's what I also tested before the other day, so I'm going to stick with it. And it's important, I always make a small batch, right, and test what you want to make sure you get expected results. You don't want unexpected results. It's not a good thing. So go slow, check your brass, make sure that you're not getting any bulging if you're going high on loads, or your primer's not coming out. I mean, there's lots of stuff to it, but if you read a book, you'll be ready. Okay. So this is the next fun part. So I get these little bins like this, Harbor Freight or whatever, some Menards, and these things work excellent. I'll show you my bench here again. I mean, these things are killer. So I have all this stuff is easily accessible to me. Let me see. Maybe I can move you down right there. So I got my pile that needs primers, and I'm gonna throw it in this bin that will be primed and ready to go. So it's that easy. I just primed one. Every squeeze of the handle here, every now and again you gotta wiggle it, just like so. That one has a crimp on it, which is weird. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and get some of these things primed up. And then we're gonna load about, I don't know, 100 of them or something. No one's got a prank. My goodness. What brand are those? Now these are all once used or more brass. It looks like Hornady does a crimp on there, so I got a tool for that, which is probably not that one. Right here, this will take out that mil-spec crimp thing. But we'll get to that later. There's so many here that I got plenty to do. Alright, so we got our powder in here. I cleaned out my little dish because there is a hole right in our cover and it's been sitting here. So we'll turn it on. It's been on for a minute. I just turned it off. And that helps let it warm up. Okay, so we're looking for 10.6. 10.6, that's going to be our target. So we're going to hit enter. It'll say target 10.6. We want to change our speed to slow because it's such a finite amount. And then we will hit dispense. Okay, so now that we got that, we gotta go reach in our bin right here. We'll grab one of our primed shells. We'll get our funnel. We'll make sure there's no dust on our funnel if it's been sitting out. Shell goes in the end of that bad boy. We'll take our 10.6 grains. We'll dump it in the funnel, give it a tap, set it there. This thing will automatically start dispensing again. Now we'll take our cartridge and we'll see you on the bench here. We got our dye in here. Okay, the dye is in there. We have our shell with powder primer. Now we're going to take our projectile, our bullet. We'll set it right here, kind of guide it up into there, and then we'll just push down on our handle on the press. Okay, but here's the big but. We're looking for a cartridge overall length, a COAL, of 2.23. Okay, so we'll zero out these calipers because I don't know why, but maybe I did push it a little further, but we're just going to go slow and we're going to look for 1 inch, 2 inch, 2.2, and we'll get it right there. So we got a little ways to go on this. That's close. It feels like it's going to be close. See, it's a little under yet. So if we go like this, we gotta bust this loose. Actually, that's good. We want to loosen this up. Oh, that's quite a bit. Alright, set that. Now there's some wiggle room, but that ain't gonna make a bit of difference. Okay, so here's one of our finished products. This isn't the right size bin, but we're gonna use it anyway. There we go. Throw our trash in our trash bag. Okay, let's do the next one. Alright guys, I just thought about this. This is the die set that I'm using. This is 300 blackout in an AR rifle platform, and so I bought the small base dies. That does matter. If you buy the wrong dies, you'll be hating life. So make sure you get the correct dies for your rifle, and I hope this might be some information. Try this at your own risk, but here you go, all nice and ready to go plinking. So we'll catch you next time, and who knows what we're gonna be doing.